Okay, hopefully this works now. I think I see the audio should be present, so I will track if anyone comes on. Please let me know. I've been this technology is fun, huh? Talk about a Uranus Neptune sextile exact. So that's what I want to be talking about. And let me show you. I have able to show the screen now. So I think you'll be able to see here now um, this is the sextile exact 4 degrees and 23 minutes of Aries for Neptune and 4 degrees and 23 minutes of Gemini. This is a first quarter sextile because Neptune is the slower moving planet. Uranus is the faster moving planet. And so Uranus has been moving up this way and it's only reached 60 degrees. But once it does reach this 60-degree mark, we have the first quarter sextile, which is a aspect in astrology, which essentially means that it's time to study. It's time to hone in on the opportunity at hand. And that means there's an opportunity at hand right here and right now to study the changes that are happening in our brain, which is Uranus and Gemini, to revolutionize the way we use language, to just change data, to let data be disrupted so that we can see the full truth. Okay. And I think this Uranus and Gemini, something I've been enjoying speaking to with Uranus and Gemini, is like the shattering of who we think we are, because there's another side to us that maybe we are not used to looking at. We are not at the edge of both sides of us, for example. So there is a breaking free from a singularity and into an even deeper duality, if you will. Okay. So this sextile is going exact today. And of course, it's in the context of this larger configuration. But I wanted to just hone in on this 60-degree sextile because it's exact today. And what that means is the archetypes, this specific relationship between Neptune and Uranus, is supercharged. Like we have that opportunity to hone in and to study something today. And this is about the collective. This is something that we are studying about the collective, because these are these outer generational planets. But the way that you experience the collective in your personal life is in your, like, let's say, interest in technology. That's very Uranus and Gemini. What is your relationship to AI, in particular the large language models, the chatting, which is a very Gemini thing? I have been using Claude again today. I am no hater of AI at all. I actually think it's pretty incredible. I think that there has always been this amount of intelligence that is available to people in the world, but I think it's becoming more and more visible and more like graspable, right? And that's this huge configuration that we're having right now. The Neptune part of all of this is saying that the technology and how we are liberating ourselves through chatting, through communication, how we're liberating ourselves through AI, through changing our own minds, through seeing the other side of who we think we are, that is helping us to see the ever expanding, limitless truth in the present moment with Neptune in Aries, right? So the truth is right here and right now. That's Neptune in Aries. The truth is in the actions that we are taking. The truth is in what we are here to act on, right? And that is more important than ever now. And this Uranus and Gemini is now helping us to find all the spaces in our brain and push ourselves to the edge of how we are communicating who we are. And when we're at the edge of who we are in our minds, we can see how much more vast the truth is. If there's not a goal to get to anymore, right? Neptune and Pisces, when Neptune was in Pisces, it could have felt like the truth could be so far away and yet also very present. Right now, Neptune and Aries, the truth is here. The truth is present. You don't have to read into things anymore. There's nothing to dig deeper in. Metaphysics, no one's interested in metaphysics anymore. Okay, that's not true, but it's not as big of a fad, right? Um, and this sextile that's exacting today, is essentially pushing each of us into a new phase where it's time to take the AI seriously. It's time to take our own change of mind seriously. It's time to take the other half of us seriously in that Gemini. Because the more we resist fracturing, the more we resist the multiplicity of self, um, we're not going to be able to access the truth that is present right now. Like, to see the whole truth right now, we have to see the broken glass. Like, we have to see the shattering. I don't know if I've said this before, put it up, but like this Uranus in Gemini is like shattered glass. It's like shattering the fractal over and over, shattering the duality until it's like multiplied exponentially, right? And that is like the what is it, that kaleidoscope thing of the truth where the patterns are just kind of pushing out everywhere, and yet with Neptune and Aries there's this unified truth in the present moment where you hold all of it and you're just a living breathing witness to the truth, to the kaleidoscopic truth. And this sextile on its own, again, is about internalizing this and studying it, how how it interests you. And there is something in this archetype of who you think you are in your brain and how your literal brain structure is changing so that you can accept more of the truth in the present moment right here, right now. Okay. So I see some people are on. Let me know if you have anything that's come up today at this exact sextile. I know that for me, I used like Claude again. I sometimes, like, I'll go through phases with AI where I use it a lot and then I don't. And then I realize like, oh, I should use it again. Hi, Natalie. I hope you're well. Do you have any thoughts on this exact sextile today? I was saying like I feel like I kind of came back to AI for a moment, and just learning and integrating and having a reason. I think that's a real sextile, is like there is a reason that we're using these technologies. It's not just for exploration, the sake of exploration anymore. In the phase before this sextile, that's the exploration phase. 0 to 60 is an exploration phase, but 60 to 90, 60 to 90 is the integration. Like, this is the studying phase. Let's see. Natalie asked, do you do your normal habits in a different way? Yeah, I mean, I think that Uranus is a change of our mind. And so while like habits are, I would put more as a Virgo archetype and not necessarily a Gemini archetype, which is what we're kind of looking with at this sextile. I definitely think we're using our minds in a different way. And so any habits that and I guess it's, yeah, you could absolutely say that using our minds is a particular habit. You know what I mean? Like we've habituated what we think about in the morning, what we think about at night, how we think about ourselves. Yeah, I'm glad that resonates, because that's very much so. It's like, and this is where the trine to Pluto can come in. But that's the trine to that Pluto in Aquarius is the little part of you that can step back from even being in your own mind and saying, oh, I can witness myself thinking, right? I can witness myself having this internal dialogue. Um, and that witness, I would say, is the Pluto, but the Uranus is the actual mechanism, the actual like internal technology that our brain is. And Uranus is now in there, waking it up, shaking it up, and saying, hello, you can use this. I love that, witness myself having this. And yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of exactly what this is that Uranus in Gemini right now is just so highlighted today because it is exact with Neptune. And that hasn't the exact hasn't gone exact for a long time. It's been edging into this exact sextile for a really long time. And so I think many of us have been coming into like awareness, whether that's through meditation, like the idea of the observer. But this is the time where we're like boots on the ground, like, oh, another way to look at that is like we see ourselves talking to AI now, doing more journaling. Absolutely. I'm doing more journaling these days too. I think that's been a big theme this lunar cycle and last lunar cycle. Um, just like returning to the emotional body after maybe a long time of, for me, I know I distanced myself from my emotional body because I got pretty big into this idea that we're just like machines and I can rewrite my emotions. But I think that bypassing emotions is actually it holds you back. But I think what that did is I was able to see space between myself and my emotions. And so I think it was productive. But now I'm coming back in to be more honest with my emotional body. And so, yeah, that's just to say I'm also doing more journaling. Um, Gemini is the neighborhood, so being very careful in parking lots and when shopping. Yeah, oh my goodness, absolutely. Careful. I wonder why you say careful. I mean, of course, there's a lot of careful is good always, perhaps, but I don't see that this time is necessarily one to be more careful about. I see that it's one to be more maybe intentional, right? Because that's that light switch that's kind of flicked on in our brain um, with Uranus and Gemini. Like wherever Uranus goes is where we're like forced to like wake up and be completely awake and intentional about what we're doing. And so in that sense, definitely careful. But Neptune in Aries, which is the other piece of this right now, Neptune in Aries is the complete forgiveness of the present moment, the complete acceptance of everything that's here right now. So complete acceptance of these unexpected surprises. You know what I mean? And it's not to say you don't act. Yeah, yeah. I think that being aware, it's just being a witness to your surroundings as well, and seeing the truth in your own personal being and perspective, and that's Neptune and Aries. I mean, Neptune and Aries can be very like a lot of big self, you know, can be very grandiose potentially. But I think from a higher perspective, it's about seeing that your truth is just as valid as someone else's truths, and that everyone's individual truths is what makes up like the collective's call to individual personal empowerment, which is of course, bolstered by Jupiter up there in Leo, making that trine, right? But to keep this kind of condensed, yeah, yeah, I'm glad that that link made sense to you. Um, yeah, so I just kind of wanted to hone on in on this right now today because the exact sextile of Neptune and Uranus, that's happening right now and just today. The rest of these big configurations will perfect over the rest of this month of July. But is something about personal truth and our mind and how the flicking on of our mind, like the greater intentionality, greater capacity to see yourself, is a study. It's a personal study in what the individual truth is for each of us individually. Okay. So generally in the way that I'm sharing my astrology these days, I am an artist and I think that everyone is an artist. And so I am here to bring attention to the creative process within all of this. And Neptune is the inspiration that is brought down and brought into the creative process. Okay. So that this is like using AI to help you create the dream of who you are. I mean, this aspect goes beyond just art and the creative process. It goes into like how art your artistic process is a reflection of your entire life. Um, But yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I've just started Substack membership for only $5 a month. If you'd like to join over there, you can get half off a full reading with me. And we're also going to be doing weekly group calls for the like the week ahead, the astrology of the week ahead, but all again in context of your creative process, all in context of your own light being turned on in your brain, how you're using your words, how you're bringing those inspirations, the Neptune inspirations down through your words into your Saturn hands and through the like the Venus enjoyment of what's going on for you. And Neptune is absolutely linked to forgiveness. Absolutely in the biggest sense possible. It's unconditional love and forgiveness, but that doesn't mean that we get walked over and we just, you know, let people take advantage of us, especially not in these strong fire times that we are in. Um, Forgiveness is of the self first, and I think that's the ultimate lesson of Neptune and Aries is you forgive yourself and then watch that ripple out into the world around you, and you find inspiration from inside of yourself as well. Okay, so to me, astrology isn't very helpful unless we're actually using it in the context of another process in our lives. And that's why, as I'm saying, it's very helpful and important. And it always feels very good to have a creative process that you find yourself in, be making something, bring the Neptune down away from like an abstract metaphysical or spiritual perspective and into a tangible talisman, like a tangible um, object that has meaning for you that you create. Okay, so art is a non-negotiable, I think, for me moving forward and in my astrology. So make something today, share something with someone, write something, you know, it's this is just like the first pillar to drop or the first domino to drop in like the series of the transformer situation that we're going to get through the rest of July, which is like building ourselves back up. So I hope that it's been helpful. This is quite a quick one. um, I'll probably log off in a minute here, but if anyone has any further questions, let me know. um, Join my Substack if you're interested to get more. And congratulations, because this is a very fun moment. I think like interact with the world as much as you can right now, because it's these what you put out is you're going to get it right back, and it's going to be processed through all these different areas of your life, kind of just like a domino. It's like the domino effect is really strong right now, and I've witnessed it in my own life even just in the last hour. So that's it. That's what I wanted to say. Quick one. Happy Uranus, sorry, Uranus, Neptune today, right? Shake up your mind, shake up your mind, shake up your mind, because that will expand who you know yourself to be and the truth of your individuality. It's this idea of getting bigger. Let yourself get bigger in your energy, in your actions, in your identity, in your self concept. Shake up your vocabulary, say something weird, you know, listen to what people are saying in a different way. Go play with sound, go, but realize where it's already happening in your life too. Realize where when someone says something to you that you weren't expecting, then your self concept grows. And that's the Neptune in Aries, where our self concept literally is infinite. It's an infinite self concept with Neptune in Aries, and Uranus in Gemini is just shattering the mental constructs that keep us trapped in the logic of our own language. The thing is, we already know this, but from this sextile from here on out, we are committing even deeper to the knowing that our minds have everything to do with how big we think we are, who we know ourselves to be. Okay? So go do your own work, go create something, go be inspired, go write something, go post it on the internet. That's a very Uranus thing. Just throw your shit into the world, see what happens, and watch yourself get bigger, okay? All right. So congratulations to everyone on this. Go join me on my Substack if you want to hang out more. It's just $5 a month. We'll do group calls, and we'll also, you can get half off a reading if you join through the rest of July. And yeah, you just get more of my writing, more of my wonky Gemini perspective. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely time with your life. Artists especially, this is for you, and how the creative process is changing, because your life is a reflection of your creative process. Your creative process is a reflection of your life. Everything is a fractal of everything else, right? And so my work, I need to keep consciously changing my mind to put it into the context of the creative practice, because otherwise astrology is really quite meaningless to me. And true inspiration really comes through your own heart and your own connection to truth, which is the creative process, and creating your creative process in a way that is aligned. Okay. So that's what I have. And yeah, be in touch. Join my Substack. All right. I'm going to end it here. Bye for now.